Hello, this is Live Connection today from Peru. Today in Peru is May 13th, 2023. I'm Nelson Peñarera Castillo, webcasting from Sullana in Peru. We return with this live connection for all the world. This is how we see the world from the western extreme of South America. On May 9th was the funeral of Fernando Carrasco Zapata in Campo Grande, Peru. This communitarian leader, politician, artist, and even passed away here in Sullana on May 7th. He had some complications to the kidney that aggravated. Next to Factor Tierra, he collaborated actively in a big-scale investigation across Malinga's community where he lived. This investigation was purposed to make it worry that community. This happened between 2009 and 2011. This work received the National Award Environmental Citizenship in 2011 to the Best Media Campaign. Mr. Carrasco lived in Guaraguao Salto, one of the 20 towns that form Malinga's community. He also was one of the representative characters of the so-called Campo Grande case. This is the epic case that was created when this community in the San Lorenzo Valley here in Peru fought against a mining company, a Canadian mining company, Mahara Minerals, to avoid a mining development amid Campo Grande city. Eventually, population won. But between the most skeptical, some questions remain, and one was, now what? Although Campo Grande is now an agricultural emporium as well as all the Piura coast, it had to explore what other things it could do in order to keep that economic model and try to evolve this. And remember that Campo Grande is a case that is now studied across the world. The most probable answer would be the experiential tourism. Some years ago, some weeks ago or some days ago, a specialist in natural resources, Ronald Richard King, posted on his Facebook account. On this, he got in brief all the potential of Piura Department for experiential tourism. In other words, the type of tourism which the visitor gets involved into the history, the culture, and the economy of the place that he or she visits, and he or she pays for it. Rhys says that the life of the farmer communities in coast and in Andean range, the religious traditions, and all the patrimony across Piura region could be a good potential to show to the world. In another post, the specialist he highlighted that the digitalization of the communications is now an advantage. Because of the internet and the artificial intelligence, now it's possible to book a ticket, some hotel room, and to watch some multi-platform experiences. Maybe the first step is make Piura more mediatic in terms of the world. So we try to do that in Factor Tierra next to the remembered Fernando Carrasco. The features are still on internet through the platforms of Factor Tierra. You can get it going to factortierra.blogspot.com. In the entry, and in the box to search, you can write Malingas. We are also in Malingas. We're also on Twitter at Factor Tierra. The contents are both in Spanish and English. As one of their kids said, we expect that Fernando Carrasco never to be forgotten by his town. But Fernando Carrasco Zapata is now in our hearts. And speaking about internet, we have a little problem. For example, what is the privacy that under legal age has? According to the law, all. But it's not about opinion of lawyers. Psychologists also recommend to respect the privacy of children and teenagers. That includes their spaces and their communications. So, how we can get sure that they are using internet and especially social media in a proper way. Here in Sullana, we are reporting at least 3 cases of human trafficking teenagers, female teenagers that were they were caught by the social media. 2 of them were found in Medellin, Colombia. One is 16th, the other 17th. Until the police investigation is advancing, they were recruited by some people by the social media under the possible mantra of migrating to the United States. Another of 15 was found here in Mercabelica, here in Sullana metropolitan area, with some signs of physical aggression and drug intoxication. The investigations are still underway, but we are not discarding a double screen. First, grooming, then human trafficking. So, getting back to the initial question, if children, teenagers has right to the privacy, how we can prevent they could be victims of those crimes. There are 2 terms that as parents, uncles, adults in general, we had to get related to. The first is digital alphabetization. The second one is parental control. The digital alphabetization is the process which we learn how to use every new technology in order to be accurate and fast. The parental control refers to the control of the adults due to the contents that the kids receive in any device, especially the internet. That includes music and pictures. Psychologists recommend that we open communication channels with the kids in order to know what they feel, what they do, what they talk to. But that dialogue must be kind, must be confident in order to that kid can tell us what is happening. And if we detect some problems, we can contact to other parents, other friends, the teachers, and maybe the police or any legal worker that can help us. We are exploring that issue. And finally, we had here a problem with dengue. Dengue is an infection caused by a virus that is transmitted by a mosquito that is called by its scientific name as Aedes aegypti. At this time, 20 of 25 regions here in Peru are under emergency. Why? Because the mosquito is spreading. And until this moment, up to now, we are counting 70,000 people infected by dengue. As well as the government tries to hold this infection, the problem here is that all the job is not enough. In this moment, we are telling the people here in Peru that try to prevent, for example, by not leaving some recipients that could be the place where the mosquito put their eggs and that create other mosquitoes. But also we are demanding the authorities to get some fumigation to the houses and the offices and any facility in order to stop the spreading of that mosquito. However, dengue here is a problem, and this infection is characterized because you can get some fever, you can get some ache in your bones and your muscles and your joints, and obviously if you had more problems, you can get some bleedings from your body. So that we are trying to say to the people is the prevention is important. If you come to Peru, consider the possibility of dengue and try to get some elements, for example, the medications, the specific medication to prevent that a mosquito can pinch you, and obviously you can get infected. But we are fighting here from our contents. So this was this first live connection after many months. I hope to get some more editions for you, and obviously I want to stay in contact with you. Remember that you can get me on the social media in every social media as @NelsonSuyana, and you can follow us with the hashtags live connection and hashtag Nelson Live. So this was the live connection. I'm Nelson Peña. See you reporting from Suyana in Peru. See you next time.